are ithunze and I have to go kilomthusi. Ke sleep sa baby sweet mose. How love wa mopola ke re ke neilwe cousin ya ke le ngahlakana le ke Zelda. Hey love batho ba hlopheya kantle ka I have lo re ke lo mthusa ka o reka dinepe.
Ukinilwe igama lakhe. Awushongo kumina ukuthi ukidibona igama lakhe. Sekukinilwe manje.
Hello everyone, welcome back to ASR, African Stories Realized. This is our weekly review of Adulting Season 2. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get into it. In episode 7, Eric and his grandmother getting Nkanyezi ready for school. After Eric dropped off at school, Minky's fate from the previous episode is revealed, with Eric bailing her out after getting her arrested. The couple has what seemingly looked like a moment of closure, with Eric telling her she's a great woman, but essentially she's not submissive enough and two alphas can't coexist in a relationship. After school, Nkanyezi returned behaving like a completely different person, unlike the respectful young girl Eric brought home from the Eastern Cape. She clashed with Eric's grandmother over dirty dishes, and I even felt bad for the old lady as Nkanyezi unleashed a disrespectful tirade on her. Eric stepped in to mediate, but it was evident that his daughter had him wrapped around her little finger, with his grandmother warning him that Nkanyezi is getting out of hand, even encouraging Eric to enforce some discipline. And I agree, she needs an old school whooping for talking to her grandma like that. Meanwhile, at Mpho's place, a suspicious Zitulele questions Mpho about the cousin that he introduced to Zelda last week. And it's here where Mpho made her suspicious by using a different name. Later on, Zitulele woke up and started snooping. She was able to unlock Mpho's phone while he was asleep, and the look on her face as she was going through the phone said it all. She once again didn't mention any of what she uncovered, but started doing random checkups and surveillancing him a bit more. After a night out with the boys and a detour through Palisas, Mpho arrived home to the interrogation of his life, with Zitulele confronting him with all the evidence she gathered, demanding he tell her everything. Vuyani and Zelda went on a date at the park where she once again shot down Vuyani's talk of getting married. Vuyani shared his intentions with the gents, with Mpho especially cautioning him against marriage. In a surprising twist, Nkanyezi paid Bonga a visit and found his family hanging out in his apartment. Bonga returned from shopping and was shocked to find that Nkanyezi was bonding with his family. The former couple caught up with each other, with Nkanyezi promising to come by to see Bonga and his family again before departing. However, Bonga later confided in Eric, sharing his doubt that him and Nkanyezi will ever get back together. Family time at Bonga's place is then interrupted by an emergency, with paramedics arriving to rush Bonga's father to the hospital. Bonga, his brother and mother all confronted the doctor at the hospital, who admitted to the family that the old man was dying. The tearful family was given the opportunity to say their goodbyes to Bonga's father. The episode ends with him taking one last sip of his son's flask before peacefully passing away with his grieving family around him. I think that was the best episode of the season so far. Much like I predicted last week, the episodes are heating up, and I believe next week's finale will be explosive. I think we will see Minky again, and the irony is she might just be the right person to get Nkanyezi back in line. The show surprised me with Nkanyezi's visit. I was disappointed with last week's reunion, but they made up for it with this one. And despite Bonga's doubts, I think the former lovebirds might reconcile in the finale. I mentioned last week how I felt Bonga looked at peace with his family, so it was really sad to see them say goodbye to his dad so soon. The rest of Zitu and Mpho's confrontation was left to the imagination, so that's another resolution the show has to give us in the finale. I feel like they rushed Zitu's investigation and confrontation. Like I mentioned last week, it would have been cool to see Zitu investigate the matter with Zelda, who's a lawyer, before confronting Mpho or even Balesa. They laid the groundwork for it with the bit about his cousin's name, but they didn't follow through. They took a more cliche route with the wife hacking the phone, although I think that's because they were trying to limit the duration of the episodes. Let's hope they spoil us for the finale. I'm hoping they push it to an hour as much as possible. I'll be back next week with another review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is ASR, for the love of African filmmaking and storytelling.